Hey movie fans, Mr. William Wallace, taking on all of England really. Mel Gibson is Mr. William Wallace in the movie Braveheart. Today we take a look back at a classic, 1995. Crazy movie, have to watch it. We're taking a look back at Braveheart.
In 1995, Mel Gibson took the reins of the epic historical drama film Braveheart, where he not only directed and produced it, but also starred as the central character, Sir William Wallace. Alongside Gibson, the film featured Sophie Marceau, Patrick McGoohan, and Catherine McCormick. The story draws inspiration from Blind Harry's 15th century epic poem about Wallace's heroic deeds during Scotland's fight for independence from England. Randall Wallace adapted the poem for the screen. Originally set to be developed at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM, the project shifted gears when producer Alan Ladd Jr. moved to another studio. Ultimately, Gibson took charge, filming in Scotland and Ireland from June to October 1994. Despite some criticism for historical inaccuracies, the film garnered both critical acclaim and commercial success. Its gripping action, compelling drama, and romantic elements captivated audiences worldwide. Plot summary. When the movie starts, it's like this. Back in 1280, Scotland was going through a tough time. King Edward, also known as Longshanks, took over after Alexander III of Scotland passed away without leaving anyone to take over the throne. It's not long before Longshanks shows his true colors, and things get pretty brutal. A young guy named William Wallace sees how harsh the rule is. He watches as Scottish nobles get executed, and even his dad and brother end up dying because they dared to stand up against the English. After all this tragedy, Wallace's uncle Argyle steps in and takes him on a trip around Europe. It's not your average vacation, though. Along the way, Wallace gets a solid education, learning about all kinds of stuff that'll come in handy later on. So, after being away for some time, Wallace comes back to Scotland and finds out that Longshanks, the English king, has been giving his noble buddies all sorts of fancy stuff. Anyway, Wallace reconnects with his childhood friend, Murren, and they decide to tie the knot in secret. But things take a dark turn when Wallace has to rescue Murren from some English soldiers who try to attack her. Unfortunately, she gets caught and ends up getting executed. As you can imagine, Wallace is furious. He gathers his clan and decides to take on the English garrison in his hometown. It's his way of saying, "Hey Longshanks, we're not going to take your tyranny lying down." It's the start of his rebellion against the English rule. Longshanks isn't too happy about Wallace stirring up trouble in Scotland, so he tells his son, Prince Edward, to go deal with him. But Wallace is no pushover. He started winning battles against the English, and more people from different clans across Scotland started joining his cause. One of Wallace's biggest victories happens at the Battle of Stirling Bridge. He goes up against this English commander named Cheltham and comes out on top, which is a huge deal. After that, Wallace keeps up his rebellion with the help of his buddy Hamish, but Wallace knows he needs more support to keep going strong. So he reaches out to Robert the Bruce, who has some serious clout as the son of a Scottish nobleman and someone who's eyeing the Scottish crown for himself. It's all about building alliances to take on the English and fight for Scotland's freedom. So, Longshanks gets wind of Wallace's rebellion and decides to send his son's wife, Isabella of France, to try to talk some sense into him. But things don't go exactly as planned. Isabella ends up falling for Wallace herself and giving him a heads up about an upcoming English attack. When the battle goes down at Falkirk, things go south for the Scots. It turns out that some Scottish nobles, Mornay and Lachlan, had been bribed by Longshanks to betray Wallace. It's a pretty low blow. And if that wasn't bad enough, Wallace also finds out that his buddy Robert the Bruce had been fighting on the English side. So Wallace gets a double dose of betrayal. It's a tough blow for him and his cause, but he's not one to give up easily. He's determined to keep fighting for Scotland's freedom, no matter who stands in his way. So, after getting stabbed in the back by those who betrayed him, Wallace isn't about to let it slide. He keeps up his fight against the English, but now he's doing it in a sneaky, guerrilla-style way. In the midst of all this chaos, Wallace ends up getting involved with Isabella, Prince Edward's wife. Meanwhile, Robert the Bruce tries to arrange a meeting with Wallace, maybe to make amends or to join forces. But things take a turn when some other nobles, who are working with Robert's dad, capture Wallace and hand him over to the English. It's a messy situation all around, with loyalties shifting and alliances crumbling. So Wallace ends up in London, where he's put on trial for a really serious crime. The punishment? Public torture followed by beheading. It's pretty brutal, but right before they carry out the execution, Wallace shouts out one word: freedom. It's a powerful moment that really strikes a chord with the crowd watching, and even Longshanks, the big bad English king, can't shake the feeling it leaves behind. As Wallace takes his last breath, his mind drifts to his lost love, Murren, who he sees smiling at him from among the onlookers. It's a bittersweet ending to a story of courage, defiance, and the fight for freedom. So in 1314, Robert, who's now the big boss as the King of Scotland, decides to take on the English at Bannockburn. He shouts the Wallace name to boost the spirit of the clan, and you know what? They end up winning. It's a powerful moment of victory and a tribute to Wallace's legacy. Box office performance. When Braveheart hit theaters, it made quite a splash at the box office. In its opening weekend in the United States alone, the movie raked in almost $10 million, but its success didn't stop there. Throughout its run in the US and Canada, it earned a whopping $75.6 million. And let's not forget about the global audience. Worldwide, Braveheart brought in an impressive $210.4 million, making it one of the top-grossing films of 1995. Critical reception. Critics had mixed feelings about Braveheart, but overall, it received a fair amount of praise. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds a solid approval rating of 75%, with many reviewers appreciating its epic action and drama. On Metacritic, it scored a respectable 68 out of 100, indicating generally positive reviews. And according to CinemaScore, audiences gave it an impressive grade of A. Effect on tourism. The impact of Braveheart extended beyond the silver screen. In Scotland, where much of the film was set, it sparked a surge in tourism. The annual Braveheart Conference at Stirling Castle saw a significant increase in attendance, with fans flocking to immerse themselves in the world of the film. Research even showed that a sizable portion of visitors were influenced to visit Scotland after seeing Braveheart, demonstrating the film's lasting cultural impact. Mixed reviews. A timeless message of freedom. Braveheart delivers a powerful message that resonates even today, highlighting the struggle against oppressive forces. While historical inaccuracies may exist, the film's engaging and inspirational narrative captivates viewers, reminding us of the enduring fight for liberty. Mel Gibson's intense performance. Gibson's portrayal of William Wallace showcases his intense acting prowess, drawing viewers into the character's quest for justice and freedom. In Braveheart, Gibson's intensity takes on a new depth, making every action feel justified and rooting the audience firmly in support from start to finish. An epic war drama, Braveheart sets a new standard for the war epic genre with its gripping story, stellar cast performances, and gritty battle sequences. Mel Gibson leads a stellar cast, while James Horner's majestic score adds to the film's emotional depth. A groundbreaking masterpiece that vividly captures both the courage and horror of war. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. If you enjoyed what you saw, don't forget to hit the like button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. Your support means a lot to us. Take care until the next one, and feel free to drop a comment sharing your thoughts. See you soon.